Hello guys, it's Rachel and it is good to be back here. I feel like every time I come home from school, it's just such a nice feeling to be in the studio again. So it's so good to see you guys. I hope you've all been doing very well. And today we are making this adorable giant tie-dye cupcake. And if the idea of tie-dye cupcakes sounds familiar to you, then you might remember that last year I was the hashtag Bake and Change ambassador for She's the First. And this year we are continuing that tradition. If you guys weren't around last year, She's the First is an organization that fights gender inequality. They provide scholarships to girls in low-income countries so that those girls can be the first in their families to graduate high school, and they train students everywhere to be global citizens. Overall, they are just such an incredible organization. You guys know education is so important to me, and it's just such a big part of my own life, and so I really truly believe in the cause of She's the First. When a girl gets an education, especially in a low-income country, it opens so many doors. And if you want to hear more about She's the First, I'll leave a link down below. If you're wondering what hashtag Bake and Change is, it's their big fundraising initiative from October 23rd to November 1st, and they encourage people to hold bake sales selling specifically tie-dye cupcakes to fundraise for girls' education. So something like this giant tie-dye cupcake would be a great centerpiece. It's super eye-catching and bright and colorful, but if you want to keep it simple, you can definitely just bake off some tie-dye cupcakes. That works great too. So if you're interested in holding your own bake sale, links will be down below with more information. And just a little side note, you can probably tell I'm kind of sick right now. I just had this like oily Chinese noodle soup, so it's a little bit better, but it can get pretty scratchy and I sound kind of like a teenage boy because my voice keeps cracking. I still really wanted to make this video though because She's the First is so important to me. So even though I'm sick, the show must go on. And anyways, that's enough talking from me now, and I think all the talking that I can really do. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. To start off, in a large bowl, you'll need 3 cups of flour, along with a tablespoon of baking powder and a half teaspoon of salt. And then just go ahead and whisk that all through to combine. And moving on over to a separate bowl, you'll need 2 sticks of nice soft butter and cream that until it is smooth. Then we're gonna pour in 2 cups of sugar and mix until it is nice and light and fluffy. Next up, we're gonna crack in 4 room temperature eggs and just mix those in one at a time. And just a quick tip here, if you accidentally get some shell in it, don't sweat it. You can actually use the rest of your eggshell and kind of scoop it out. That way you don't have to worry about getting your hands all in there. And I feel like it never works when you try to pinch it. So using the eggshell works out really well. Now we're gonna add in a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I know, a whole tablespoon. We're going nuts, but it gives it a lot of really nice flavor. Then we're gonna add in half of our dry ingredients and give that a whirl. And then pour in 1 cup of room temperature milk and mix it in 2. Then finish it off with the rest of the dry ingredients. And I like to fold that through with a spatula just to make sure I don't overmix. Next up, we're going to divide this between 6 separate bowls, and we're going to color these all of the colors of the rainbow. Except I like to sub the red for hot pink. I just think it looks really nice for the color scheme, but do whatever floats your boat. And look at these beautiful colors here. They look so gorgeous. Definitely super eye-catching. And now it's time to dollop this into our giant cupcake mold. I just have this greased with some cooking spray, and I recommend doing dollops as small as you can, probably about a tablespoon or so. The smaller the dollops, the more color variation you'll have, so just work in small sections. Before you bake that off, go ahead and give it a swirl with a popsicle stick. You don't want to swirl it too much because we do have a lot of different colors in there and you don't want it to turn brown or anything, so just give it a little mix. Then you'll want to bake that off at 350 for about an hour. The top is going to bake faster than the base, so just keep an eye on it. Once those have cooled down for about 10 minutes, go ahead and remove them from the molds and then level off the top. As you can see here, this cake does get quite caramelized around the outside, but don't worry, the inside is still super soft and moist and delicious. We'll also want to trim off the caramelization off of the bottom half of our base, and this way it'll fit inside our chocolate shell later. And speaking of that chocolate shell, to make it you'll need some Candy Quick, and I just colored it with some hot pink oil-based food color. And then you'll just want to pour that into your cupcake mold and go ahead and tilt it around, get the whole thing covered, and then pop that off into the fridge for about 10 minutes. Once that's set up, you'll want to go in for a second coat. Since the chocolate is already cold, the second coat is going to set up really fast, so don't sweat it if it looks kind of lumpy. That's just the nature of it because the chocolate is going to set up so fast. It's almost like you're spackling it with the candy melts. It's not that difficult though. Once you have that all covered, pop that in the fridge for another 15 minutes, and then you can unmold your beautiful candy shell. And look how cool this is. It looks just like a cupcake wrapper, and once you've popped it out, you want to pop it back into the mold just for some more stability. Then I'll just spread some buttercream frosting on the inside of the wrapper, and this will help stick our cake in. Doesn't have to be super neat. And then you'll want to drop in your cake and just make sure you push it down all the way. It turns out I did not push it down all the way, so you'll see what happened later. But anyways though, go ahead and unmold that again and pop it onto a rotating cake board. Then apply a thin layer of buttercream and pop on the top. Our frosting is going to be really simple here. I'm just piping on some rosettes of buttercream. Really simple technique. You're basically just making little swirls. and then sprinkle over a generous amount of rainbow sprinkles. I'll leave the specific mix I have down below, but I think these are so fun and pretty. I love all the different shapes and colors. And to finish it off, I'll just pop on a little kawaii face out of some fondant, along with some pink cheeks. And now our gorgeous giant tie-dye cupcake is finished. And then when you slice into it, you'll see those beautiful tie-dye colors. And then here you can see, it turns out I didn't push down the cake all the way into the base. There's about an inch of a gap there, but it's all good. I just kind of cheated by pushing some cake into the side. But anyways though, that is how you make this beautiful giant tie-dye cupcake. It would be perfect for your bake sale, and it's just a really fun treat. And now that our giant tie-dye cupcake is finished, let's hop into the outro. Alright guys, our giant tie-dye cupcake is finished now, and I think this looks incredible, and it is perfect for your bake sale. And also, if you like this video, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. You can also follow me on social media at kawaiisweetworld. My last video is linked right down there, and I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all back here very soon. Bye guys!